What's up, you guys? Welcome back to WideBody Nation. In this video, I'm going to explain to you guys why dealerships are probably lowballing the crap out of you on your trade-ins, but also trying to still demand top dollar for both new and used cars because we're in a very weird spot right now where dealerships are in a really sketchy spot, and that's why they're acting so uh, seemingly odd because we're kind of out of the phase where everyone was giving you a ton of money for your car and also you had to pay a bunch of money for a car. Now it's no one wants to give you any money for your car to trade in or sell, but they still are asking the world to go buy a new or used car from them, which is weird. So, if you guys don't know who's up on the screen right here, it is Lucky Lopez. That's his YouTube channel, and he has a lot of good insights. He is a used car dealer. He's been in the car industry for a while. I believe he's in or around Las Vegas, and I find his channel quite informative. So I recommend you guys go ahead and subscribe to his channel, watch a few of his videos, toss him a like or a comment because I find them very helpful. So we're gonna start off this video kind of going from what he explains in his video and then translating it to like what you're seeing on the ground and what I've been seeing on the ground because right now I have a total of 6 cars, including my wife's car and including all my project cars and stuff. And I'm trying to probably get rid of 1 or 2, but it's actually been very challenging for me because, um, well, because of this video. I'll show you all the problems in this video. I have values for you. You guys know how much I paid for my Dodge Charger Hellcat Redeye WideBody in the last video, and we're going to keep building off that here. So I have some graphs for you guys to show what's going on in the market. And I even have my Dodge Charger valued here on Kelley Blue Book, which is kind of the classic site. But just a quick plug for you guys. If you guys have not protected your Charger, Challenger, TRX, Chrysler 300, anything like that, destroyer1320.com. We prevent the way that my Hellcat was stolen. And basically that is them pulling the neutral strap and putting your car in neutral and then, driving away, pushing away, towing away your 50, 60, 80, 90, 100,000, $120,000 car, Dodge Demon, Dodge Hellcat, you name it, they can steal your car. And yes, we are looking into other makes and models, Ford Mustangs, F-150s, et cetera, et cetera. We're just trying to, roll them out one model at a time so we can keep the fitment right. So use my code WBN on destroyer1320.com and go ahead and get 20% off. Now, Lucky Lopez's video is titled Dealerships and Banks Are in Trouble. And then he has another one that talks about no sales. So basically what he's talking about is from the dealer side. And dealers are in a pickle. And you guys will see why this matters to you. Dealerships are in a pickle because they paid really, really, really high prices for their inventory. We're talking used cars right now. They paid super high prices, whether it was trade-in value to past customers who traded it in and got a different car, or whether they went and bought it out at auctions like going to Manheim, going to a bunch of other different auctions and actually acquiring vehicles for their lot because a lot of these dealerships, even that were big new car dealers, actually ended up being mostly used car dealers during the pandemic. So what Lucky basically explains is that dealerships are not only did they overpay for inventory, like let's talk about like say there's a 2018 Honda Civic. These dealerships might have paid 25 grand for that a couple months ago and thought that was an okay deal because that might have been wholesale value. And wholesale value is basically the bottom dollar that the dealer market will support swapping that car around for basically no money. So like the wholesale value is what basically almost every dealer would agree is the value of that car brought to a wholesale auction just to be traded hands for very small transaction costs so that another dealer could bring it to a different market and sell it, right? Presumably you buy at wholesale and sell at retail, right? Hopefully you're getting a 5, 10, 15% margin on that. So hopefully if a car's wholesale value is 25 grand, you could sell it for anywhere from 28 to 30 grand, maybe 27 to 30 grand, depending on the market, depending on the region, depending on the economy. What Lucky basically outlines is that dealerships are no longer, or sorry, sellers in the wholesale market are trying to sell their cars for inflated prices still. So if the wholesale value currently of that Honda Civic is truly $25,000, maybe they're trying to sell it for $27,000, $28,000, $29,000, $30,000 at the auction, at a wholesale auction, which would basically be negating all of your profit when you would buy that car as a dealer. And so that is why, one, you see a lot of, they're called no sales at auctions, where the dealers basically have a reserve. The sellers have a reserve in kind of like normal auction terms. And if they don't sell it for enough, they just say, nope, I don't want that sale. And then they just say, nope, auction it off again, whether it's next week or whether it's the next day or the next month. And it creates a big backlog in the auction market. Furthermore, dealerships that you guys are seeing right now, that's why a lot of dealerships that you and I have driven by may not have a ton of new inventory, or sorry, a ton of used inventory, because one, they might not be moving their current inventory fast enough, and we'll talk about that in a second. But two, a lot of these dealers have gotten burned a few times on losing money on these cars that they paid way too much money for at the auction, and then they sold at either at a net, like no gain, no loss, or they probably even sold some of these cars at a loss to people because they realized they were sitting on expensive inventory and they needed to move it because, check this out, car values year over year, meaning this time last year compared to this time this year, they are down anywhere between 12 and almost 17% with an average of 15%. So that means this time last year, used car prices were this is just cars in general, but cars last year were selling for an average of 15% more than they are now. And to give you guys kind of an idea, that means a car that's currently selling for $20,000 today would have been selling for about $23,000 this time last year. So it is a significant chunk of change we're talking about. And that's on a $20,000 car, is a $3,000 difference. If you're talking about a $50,000 car, then you're talking about, call that a $7,500, maybe even $8,000 difference. So now a car that's selling for 50 grand, this time last year would have been selling for 57, 58 grand. And that's how much the market has changed. And that's not just on y'all's side as a consumer. That's on the dealer side. And dealers are the ones that usually sit on this inventory, which brings up another problem. Dealerships' days of supply, which is basically the fancy term of saying how long the average car that they have sits on the lot before it sells. So the time from when they receive the car, however they receive it, whether it's a trade-in, an acquisition, or maybe off the truck because it's a brand new car. Dealership days of supply are way back up into the 30, 60, coming up on 90 days of supply now, which is pre-pandemic levels. And that's when you used to see the crazy sales. That's when you used to see the crazy power dollars and the 0% financing for 72 months. Granted, the interest rates were way lower back then from the Federal Reserve, but you're going to start probably seeing deals again. You're going to start seeing cars sell for less than MSRP. You're going to start seeing manufacturer rebates again. You're going to start seeing lease offers. You're going to start seeing financing offers. Granted, the financing offers will maybe not be as good as they might have once seemed. But these dealerships, they are going to be caught in a pickle because look at this. And I'm sorry this is such a zoomed out graph, but let's look at this right here. So this is about 1 year span right here. Imagine, I think this is about, let's call this 6 months ago. Let's call this 3 months ago. If dealerships bought the cars that are currently on their lot in this window right here, and now that those vehicles are worth that much right there, that means those vehicles have dropped by 25% of an index value, which is substantial. We're talking the value of that car could have dropped anywhere from 10 to 30% probably. because it went from a little over 250 to 220. So call that 10 to 15%, which we've already talked about. But that's why dealerships are seemingly still trying to charge you guys a ton of money, and even trying to charge each other a ton of money at the auctions or on dealer exchanges. But they're also not willing to pay you anywhere close to fair on trade-ins. They're all honestly a lot of dealerships right now, and this is firsthand experience. In the past 2 weeks, since I told you guys I'm trying to sell a car, I've valued my wife's RAV4. I've gotten my Subaru WRX brand new 2022 valued. I've gotten my Ram 3500 dually, and I've gotten my Hellcat Charger 2022 Hellcat Charger jailbreak. And the only car that they were even thinking about giving me a fair value was for my wife's RAV4, because it's a RAV4 TRD off-road, and that car will sell itself. That car will not even get onto the dealership, into the dealership system before that one sells, because it's Lunar Rock, it's a TRD off-road, it's a 2020, so new body style. It is a great car. So they were willing to give me what I would consider a fair price for that vehicle. Now, my truck had a sticker of like 65 grand, and I put the nice new Ram Alcoa blackout wheels on it that are an OEM wheel, so they should either hold or increase the value. It's got a nice $2,000 bed cover on it from Diamondback. If you guys don't know those bed covers, then you should. And it's got great towing options from the factory. I've had dealerships lowballing me 50 grand, 53 grand, 55 grand. No one's even got close to 60. And honestly, that's where I feel that the truck is worth about 60, give or take. That would be in the ballpark. Now that's a little bit more of a me thing. That's probably a little more subjective. But check this out. My Hellcat, remember the sticker was 96,600, and these Hellcats are going away. They're supposed to be super rare now. My Hellcat has less than 2,000 miles on it, and the trade-in value, which is about what your wholesale value is going to be, is anywhere from 85 to 92 grand, and it's on the lower side. I have a text on my phone right here, and I even told the dealership, this is Gary Matthews here in Clarksville, Tennessee, and I told them, hey, I gave them the VIN, I sent them pictures, red interior, fully loaded. It was 96,600, and it's, basically a brand new car, very desirable spec, white carbon fiber stripes, the cool deep dish wheels that are Dodge factory wheels, and red interior. And they hit me, I'll show you. They hit me with a 78 grand offer. Now, granted, that might have been 79 grand. Look, it says right here. They go, he said 7,900. I know that is book value, and then I'll leave that alone. And I said, okay, thanks. And they said, and then they're like, well, what do you want for it? And I said, sticker was 96.6. And then they said, what are you looking to get for it? And I said, that or more. And then today they texted me and they said, I got an offer for 92 grand. They said the bid is good for 48 hours. So that kind of shows you the power of patience and the power of kind of knowing what you got. But I'm telling you guys, the dealerships right now, they are out there to get you guys. They're trying to either sell you rare cars over sticker price with a bad interest rate, or they're trying to pay you very low dollar for your current trade-in, because they're trying to get their inventory cost down so they can start turning a profit in this tougher market. Because when they bought their inventory 3-6 months ago, interest rates were half of what they were now. So customers' buying power was 5, 10, 20% better than it currently is, just purely based off the interest rates. And that's not even talking about lending criteria. That's not even talking about bank stipulations right now, where it's hard to get a loan. I mean, look at this. Toyota right here in this ad, 3.99 APR for 48 months. 6 months ago, 3.99 APR was considered a kind of a bad interest rate for a 72-month loan, not a 48-month loan. Toyota, my wife's Toyota, 2020 RAV4 is financed at 0% for 60 months, and that's a $35,000 car. I mean, we're talking about some serious market changes right now, and like I said, I think you guys should go check out Lucky Lopez. He posts a few times a week, and it's from the dealer perspective. It'll give you a good look behind the veil, and all you got to do is either watch my channel, maybe check out OC Motivator, and and you can kind of piece it together from both sides. You can see the dealer angle, you can see what I'm out here doing, what I'm trying to wheel and deal on, what kind of warnings I got for you guys, what kind of explanations I have as far as banks, as far as financing, etc., etc. And then you guys can try to make the best decision for you and your family and your car enthusiasm as you may. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys get your car, get your friends, your family protected. Destroyer1320.com. My discount code's not going to be available forever. We may raise prices again. We may not. So I would appreciate it if you guys would just go ahead and take advantage of it sooner rather than later, so I don't get a bunch of comments in 3 months from now if we raise prices and they're like, "Oh, I wish I would have bought it back then." So appreciate you tuning in. Please do go ahead and stay safe out there, and we will see you for the next video.